Hi, Kings Mountain. We're back again with updates with the city manager, and this is a bit of an extraordinary kind of update for you because it's been kind of an extraordinary week. I think you all know that Thursday night and Friday morning of last week we had the devastating effects of Hurricane Helene come through, and not only our community but all of western North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, and so much of the entire southeast was hit by this incredibly devastating storm. And the good news is, thank God, that our community has come through it so much better than most. But we want to tell you a little bit about where we are, and thank you so much for the patience that you've all exhibited through some really difficult and hard times. So I'm here at Public Works today, the Public Works Yard, and as you might imagine that this is the area where we've been bringing now for a full week all of the trees and brush that has been brought down all throughout the community. A lot of the things that brought our power lines down, that blocked streets, that blocked your yards, that caused damage to your homes. We've been picking that up, cutting that up, bringing it out here. You can see a massive pile of mulch and chips in the back, and some of the remnants of the last few loads that have been brought here. And then of course you'll also see, we'll show you in a little bit, all of the new inventory of electric transmission poles, distribution poles, transformers of all sizes, other kinds of equipment that we need to ultimately put back into the electric system for all the devastation that's occurred. And the one thing we wanted to mention to you too about the electric utility, and the reason that it took in some cases 5, 6, and even 7 days to get the electric back, is so much of our system was entirely dependent upon Duke Energy. So their major transmission system failed in many cases. Large transmission lines came down. Other major elements of their infrastructure were damaged in significant ways, and we were entirely dependent upon them getting us power through that system before we could ultimately energize our system. So ultimately, when we got the power coming back to our substations and were able to fix a lot of our lines, replace transformers, put up new poles, then a lot of that power started coming back. So I'm really pleased to announce that today, effective on Friday, virtually everybody in our community is back up. There's still a small handful of folks that are in rather unusual circumstances, but we're working to finalize that as well. Also, we can report that there are no more streets blocked at this point, and we're doing everything in our power to get back to relatively normal. This last week, we were not able to do our normal solid waste routes because we were so busy, obviously, picking up all of the brush and all of this material. But we were able to put strategic dumpsters in 4 or 5 different locations throughout to the community. Those are still there. We encourage you, please take anything and everything that you have. You're more than welcome. Put it in those dumpsters. We'll continue to collect them as they get full. There's one at the Armory. There's one at Patriots Park. There are several other locations. Next week, it is our plan to get back to normal routes. Of course, it'll take a little while to get back up and running, get to your routes, so please be patient with us again. But in the meantime, we'll continue to keep those dumpsters there. So as you may have had to dump a lot of spoiled food that was in your freezer, your refrigerator, we've all had to do that. It gives us the opportunity, at least if you can get it over there, to take care of that. Now, my fellow Kings Mountain residents, as I stand here among all of these poles and transformers and wire and everything that we're using to try to bring normalcy back to your community, to not just bring you power, but to have the inventory back in place should this ever happen again, I think about normalcy, and we can't forget that. So as part of that, it's not just recovery, but it's allowing you to enjoy some of the things that you've gotten used to too. So I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the fact that next week we're still going to have the Mountaineer Heritage Festival. So Saturday, October the 12th, Patriots Park, all day, a wonderful family event. It's a great time to come out, see and meet your neighbors, thank them for all that they've been one to another, doing this for ourselves, for this to the community, and just feel like you're a little bit normal again, something to look forward to, something to enjoy, something that feels like what you would expect in the fall, something that you've looked forward to. And after all the hardship that we've endured together, it might be kind of nice just to have some fun, some relaxation, to enjoy one another's company, and to have a good old time local festival downtown. So don't forget, come on out. It's going to be a great time. It is the Mountaineer Heritage Festival, kind of like the festival used to be in the old days. Lots of music, lots of fun, lots of family-friendly activities. So please don't forget, we'll see you there. So again, we wanted to thank you sincerely, because obviously it's been an incredible hardship for all of us throughout this week. You've been patient, you've been kind, you've been gracious, you've understood our problems. City employees have worked tirelessly, literally around the clock. In addition to city employees, we've actually had 5 separate mutual aid crews come to us, give us support from places like Apex and Dallas and other places throughout the state. They've been incredibly helpful, and we can't say enough about their assistance to our community. We've gotten help from our faith-based groups, from our churches, from our local corporations. Albemarle has been helpful. Several others have helped. Right now, too, we want to ask you sincerely, there's a lot of people out there that still really need help and support. So the food banks have gotten really, really low. So we are currently in a drive, and we're trying to collect both money and foodstuffs to replenish and replace the local food banks. So at several of the city locations, including City Hall, the library, the Public Works Department, and the Senior Center, you can drop off non-perishable foods, canned goods, things like that. We've got it all on the website, and you'll be able to see at the end of this video kind of where to take it, what we're looking for, and any donations you can make. Because again, your fellow residents and citizens, not only in this community, but throughout Western North Carolina, South Carolina, into Tennessee, there's so many people that have been so devastated by this awful storm. They really are in need of help. Do whatever you can. We appreciate your graciousness, your patience. We're going to continue doing everything that we can as a city. If you do encounter problems, if we haven't answered your questions, if the answers haven't come on the website or in other means on social media, please let us know. We're trying to do everything we possibly can. This has been a once-in-a-generation, once-in-a-lifetime kind of storm. I don't think anybody anticipated it to this magnitude, to this degree. But what was incredible was the way that the community pitched in, that so many people came together. They helped one another, they helped each other, they helped their community, and at the same time, they understood. They understood to have patience, to care for their neighbor, to look out for their neighbor, and to do everything that they can. So we appreciate it sincerely. We're going to continue to do this. Recovery will be happening still for many, many more weeks. We ask for your patience. We appreciate it very much. So Kings Mountain, thank you again so much for coming through this with resiliency, with grace, with care for your neighbor. So till next time, this has been Updates with your city manager. Thank you.